I'm just preparing the room a little bit. So, just if you're coming on, feel free to take a few deep breaths with me. It's been a long day, at least for me. Um, Love to see who's on. So, if you want to chat, feel free to do that. Welcome, welcome. I'm just waiting for another moment. Let's take a couple more deep breaths. We are, hi Judy, hi Clara. We are finishing up a transit in the next day or two that has taken us through the sun in, is it the sun? Yep, the sun in gate 34 and the earth in gate 20. So if you've not seen this before, the transit chart, here's the 34 coming off the sacral, and here is the 20 taking that sacral energy to the throat. So remember, you guys who are not manifesting generators or even generators, what's happening in the transits for us is that we are having quite a bit of an experience, an amplified experience with sacral energy. So if you've been feeling extra busy, take another deep, deep breath and release and relax that. I really am glad that you are here tonight. I just want to kind of ease into our time together because of this 3420 channel in the transits that's just been, I know it's been kind of running my life. I love to hear how it's been with you. I've been sort of sequestered the last few days because I'm making up for the time when last week when I had some unexpected events come up that I chose to engage in and did not really fully engage in my business retreat. So I had this plan to prepare to move forward. I don't know if you can see that. Organize and solidify the foundation for 2020 offerings and programs. So ever since about, I think it was Friday night, I started. And yes, we are solidified just in time for just in time for the kickoff to the season of gratitude. So here in the US, we are about to have Thanksgiving on Thursday, the 28th of November, 2019. Let's give that time marker. Oh, thanks, Judy. Thanks for the validation there. I feel much more calm and grounded and excited about what's coming. And today, one of the things that I do with my business retreats, it was really more like an intensive this time because I really, I had that 3420 transiting energy, I guess, moving through me, and I really wanted to ground a few pieces. So, normally I give myself a lot of time for downtime and meditation, a little recreation when I do these self-guided retreats. And this time it was like, oh, nope. I've got 20 minutes. Let me sit down and meditate and connect up and see what the next step is. And that was about all that I was giving myself because it just kept coming through and coming through. So as a result, The Discover Your Design, my new course, is out on my Member Vault platform. I will try to put a link down below if you're interested in checking it out. It's got some flexible pricing there if you want to take a look at it. I also got another course, created another course that I haven't launched yet, that is called Splenic Authority. For those of you who have a splenic authority and have really wanted to get in touch with it, this is the course for you. It's actually a condensed version of a course that I taught, an intensive course I taught a couple of years ago. Yeah, a couple of years ago, last year, a couple of years ago. 18 months ago, I don't know. I'm still recovering. It was called the Splenic Clinic, and it was a real lesson in how deep is too deep, at least for my energy system, and it's sort of, I've been recovering ever since from it. But I'm really delighted to have that content and to be able to add to it to do a really great course for Splenic Authority. But anyway, I was doing all of that. I've got those pieces into place. I got a bunch of other stuff into place. I have our first workshop planned for next year. It's in here, but it came to me yesterday in one big download, and it's like, oh, it can be that simple and that powerful and that potentially impactful for those of you who are really, those of you human design enthusiasts who really want to take your intentional steps into awakening to your design and deconditioning the details of your design. So, yay, yay, yay. That's why I needed to take a few deep breaths. And in my meditations today, or one of my meditations today, as my guides were kind of hooking in and working with me, they were working really to kind of energize me from behind the scenes. To what the term that came through was, you know, they were infusing me with kinetic energy, the electrical kinetic energy, to actually bridge the gap between what is in my intention field and what actually gets created on the earth plane. So that was pretty cool. And in that whole thing, I realized that I haven't really been in touch. The goal here on this channel is to put at least 2 videos out a week for you guys, and one of them is usually a live stream. And I was editing a video, the last one actually so far of the series, if you're following it on self-empowerment. We're talking, this video coming up is about the Will Center, but I don't think I'm going to release it quite yet, because the message came through very clearly that this is really a time to stop and pause and kind of come out of my cocoon, you know, my business intensive cocoon, and just reconnect with you all in gratitude. So I'm expressing my heartfelt gratitude for you, and for you as a member of my community, and for all of the support that you've been able to lend with your presence, and for all of the inspiration that you give me to continue to show up and serve in this way. It's no small thing. I was really urged today to get on and talk about and share with you and maybe take you through a process, because I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here. I've been making notes all day. But when it comes down to it, you know how much I love the processes that we do with energy. Because when we do come together in these groups, whether you're here live or whether you're here tomorrow or next year or whenever, you're part of this group energy that really helps to fortify and add to the shifts and the changes that we are all making across all timelines and all dimensions and all I don't know, parallels and lifetimes and everything else, above, below, behind, and in front and behind and all the way around us, as a group. So I'm so, so grateful that you are here and participating in this. And I'm excited to see exactly what comes through. So I'll just start with some of my notes and then we'll just go from there. I was prompted in that meditation to start sharing some of my ideas and whatever comes through about gratitude and manifestation. And if you're inspired to share something, go ahead and put it in the chat. But I want to start by talking about manifesting, how to manifest what is highest and best. When we look at human design, and you really take this journey of realigning to yourself, to your true self, and claiming the true power that you were endowed with in this vehicle, you really kind of understand that, as Ra Uru puts it, that we don't have choice. We're choiceless in a lot of ways because we are all in this, uh, in the illusion that this is it. Like this is our physical reality, and we somehow have some control over it. And those of you who are projectors know on a very visceral level that, especially for our energy types, that we do not move the Maya in the way that generators and manifesting generators do. We have our own way of really being in the flow of this illusionary game that we have created, game that we've created through our collective consciousness. And, it's not like a lot of times what we doing what we think we need to do is going to bring us the results that we think we're going to get, right? So there's this surrender that those of us who are projectors kind of know on a visceral level, that we've got to surrender at times and let the heart resonance, let the energy that comes through our heart, which is known in human design as the magnetic monopole, uh, guide us and move us into those things that we're attracting, hopefully, as we become more aligned with who we are. What we're attracting, that is a perfect match for us. So this is the manifestation game. It's a game that is played behind the scenes, and we're kind of like the hands of the game. The body, the vehicle, is kind of the hands of the game. After everything else has been lined up, the opportunity has been presented. If the thing that you're responding to, generators, manifesting generators, the thing that you're invited into, that through your own authority projectors is correct for you. The thing that you waited for a long time, reflectors, is there, and manifestors, those things that that you need to impact, um, show up. But that's the end point for manifestation, right? It starts somewhere back here, and I use back as a directional thing, and I know it's really a limited concept, and just a limited description, but it starts from this unseen place where we are intimately connected with the source of all things, and the quantum field, and all of that stuff. And of course, when we look at manifestation from the point, or if we look at it from the framework that all energy either moves in waves or it moves in points. I'm saying points because that's what I'm seeing. Dots. What do they call that? Somebody help me out here. It either moves in waves. We need Einstein here to explain this, or particles, or particles. And those particles can be sort of interpreted as our points of focus and intention. So we can settle our, we can have certain points of focus and intention and stop the wave, um, but we don't necessarily have control over how it manifests. So that's why I say, why I'm talking about manifesting what's highest and best. Because if you're always intending highest and best, regardless of what it looks like, without attachment to the outcome, maybe with a general idea of where you're going to place your foot on the next step, without the expectation or the attachment to uh, which rock you're going to put your foot on, because sometimes the rocks move mid-step. It's always going to lead you, especially when you're being true to yourself and you're radiating your true frequency. It's always going to lead you to the highest and best outcome. So how do we do that? The simple uh, thing, that energy concept that we can sort of work with here to manifest what's highest and best, is to hold that frequency of gratitude. So this is why I love coming into this season. In the US, it's kicked off by Thanksgiving. At least in my book, that's the kickoff. And here we are 2 days before that kickoff, and then the Christmas holiday and the Jewish holidays, and all of these things are wrapped up into the end of the year. And also, even if you don't celebrate any of those religious kinds of holidays, there's always this sense at the end of the year, if you really stop and pause in the stillness, um, this sense of celebration for what has gone before, and this anticipation for what's going to unfold moving forward in the new year. So that's that's why I think it's so significant that we're sliding into this season where we can give and receive gratitude. We can give gratitude to others. We can give gratitude for our lives. We can feel that gratitude within for the way that we have moved through our year, and it can be such a powerful it can be such powerful fuel for the manifestations that come from what we've attracted through our focus on those intentions. So let's see, where are we going with this? And anybody have any thoughts with this? When I stopped and tuned in and was guided to kind of come on tonight, one of the things that I became aware of is, along with this sense that we're kicking off the season of gratitude, there's also a lot of potential suffering that can happen at this time as well. If you've lost loved ones, a lot of times that energy those emotions can kind of surface around this time. Or if you're feeling all alone, or you think that you have expectations about the way that you will celebrate, and you don't really those expectations aren't really fulfilled. Oh, thank you, Judy. Thank you so much. I'm grateful for all of the years of support that you've given me as well. So, these challenges that we can experience are kind of exacerbated by, at least in the U.S., in 2 days, we're also entering into eating season. Where we've got these heavy meals and special desserts that only come out once a year, special candies, people giving you cookies and food, or maybe you're baking cookies and food and breads and cakes and things that we don't normally consume, are part of the celebration at times. So we're eating more dense foods. Our foods are denser, and we're eating more of them a lot of times, and it sort of weighs us down. It weighs our vibration down. Um, it's, at least in the northern hemisphere, it's getting colder outside, and we've decreased our movement. We're getting less sunshine. And then as we move into these seasons of celebration, into these events of celebration, where we get to the opportunity to express our gratitude and to feel gratitude and to bask in gratitude with others, on that energetic, mechanical, energetic level, we're also being exposed to other people's lower vibrational attitudes, their slower vibrating energy fields, because maybe they stuffed themselves at the last meal, or they're experiencing grief or stress or something that's coming up for them during the holidays. We're exposed to people a lot of times that we don't normally see, that we may not choose to see. I don't quite do that anymore, but if you do, just know that you can hold a frequency of gratitude even in situations that have a lot of friction. So there's that condition. There's also that conditioning that we have, because our frequencies. Someone can hold a high frequency, someone can hold a lower frequency, and you're going to eventually, if you stay in the same room together, you're going to kind of entrain to some sort of baseline level of frequency where you're resonating with each other to a certain degree. Or you can hold that higher frequency, which is what we're going to work on tonight with this gratitude aspect, and maybe raise the energy in the room. And then there, of course, are the other conditioning factors of, taking in and amplifying and maybe distorting energy from other people's defined centers and those types of things, or past conditioning where you felt that you had to be a certain way or do a certain thing during these holiday seasons. So I want to invite you to be mindful about those things where you kind of go on automatic pilot, where you maybe go comatose or fall asleep on your own self-awareness, because maybe you've had some denser foods, or you're dealing with some triggers and stress, and maybe even grief, because maybe you're not moving as much, and you're not necessarily fully aware of what's affecting you and who's affecting you. So I want you to, as we move into this time, to take what we get today and begin to practice it. And I'm not sure what we're getting, so but begin to put it into practice, so that you can be that one in the room who's holding that higher vibrational field of authenticity and energy and joy, and or at least steadiness and you know appropriateness for the moment, a neutrality without being triggered, so that other people have an opportunity to kind of shift and adjust to you. So the grounding factor of this is that energy of gratitude, is that frequency of gratitude. And this is what can truly ground you as you move through this season, where you are mixing it up with a bunch of other people, and dealing with a lot of your own inner and perhaps inner and outer stresses. Um, Gratitude is a very, very high frequency. It's similar to the energy of love, the frequency of love, and it's, in a way, it is love in uh, motion, in the sense that it Gratitude is something that you can feel for in yourself, but it's also something that's so strong that it naturally radiates out to others. It's like love being shared. That's what gratitude is. It's the energy and the frequency of love being shared with yourself and with others. So let's go ahead and tune in. I've already got my hands on my heart. If you want to put your hands on your heart, let's do that. Let's do that together. Recognizing that we in this virtual space, whether here now in this moment or in another moment that is also now at a different time, are acting as um, uh, resonance and frequency raisers, elevators for all of the others who are here. So as we do this, we can just imagine um, ourselves in a circle. It's a nice visual, a circle around the world. I'm not sure where everyone is from, but let's just imagine that we're all here together in one big, beautiful, good feeling circle. So as we connect up, let's call in those helpers or guides or inspirational beings that you would love to have present. And let's invite them to be around us in another outer circle. So your group or entourage can stand behind you if you like, or perhaps some of them move to someone else in the circle that they feel needs some backing or wants some backing of their particular flavor of energy at this time. And take a deep breath. If you've been bracing against the world, recognize now that you can relax your back. Open up the posterior aspect of your heart center and allow yourself from that place in your energy field behind you to open up to all of the unseen help and support and inspiration that we've invited in to be with us today. And what is coming through from them, from this energy, is this overwhelming sense and expression of gratitude for us as humans in these vehicles being willing to come and be the hands for this collective creation here on earth. So take another deep breath and allow yourself to feel appreciated. Those who are not incarnated at this time, and those who have chosen to lend some of their consciousness, even if they're here on earth, who have come here at this time on some level of their consciousness, they're in an energy form. especially those who are not here in form but are here in energy for us, benefit from the observation of our day to day life. And also, especially those that are closest to you, your team of helpers and guides, benefit from their ability to assist you in giving you guidance from a place where you can't necessarily see what is next or what's around the corner. So I want to just encourage you to open up to that awareness that you're not here alone. You're not here with by yourself. You have support that you can rely upon, and all you have to do is ask. This is not a relationship with that you have with those that are not in physical, that are here with you. Um, it's not a relationship that's one way. They benefit, they evolve from assisting you and supporting you in your own evolution. And they stand here with you today as part of that, as part of establishing their presence if you haven't already been aware of them. So, as they stand around us in this outer circle, if you feel guided or if you feel open to it, you are invited to just open your field a little bit, like just intend for your energy to soften a little and allow the energy that is them, the ones who are here for you, to step in a little closer, to be part of your energy field for a little while. Because in some respects, when we talk about guides and guide teams and helpers and in non-physical, we're talking about aspects of you. So if you're uncomfortable with the notion that there are beings that are energetic and spiritual that are always around you, um, see if you can settle in and be comfortable with the idea that they're actually aspects of you. Um, Otherwise, there would not be this resonance and connection. So continue to breathe and relax and open. Allow yourself to be fortified by the energy of gratitude that they bring into your field. This gratitude for you as the being that you are, taking this journey that isn't easy, that isn't easy for any soul to do. And here you are, being the hands of creation, the vehicle of creation for this material reality that we're all involved in and co creating. If you're not comfortable with feeling appreciated in this way and opening to receiving that, this is where you're invited and encouraged to place your attention over the next few weeks. Spend some time every day receiving gratitude from your guides or from those aspects of yourself, from your higher self, for the journey that you are taking on behalf of all of you, especially the parts of you that are so intricately connected to divine source that um, you are the extension of. Focus on over the next few days or even throughout this season. If you're not used to receiving that kind of gratitude from the higher planes, from the broader perspective, just feel gratitude for yourself and your journey upon in the earth plane, on the earth plane. So as you do that, it raises your frequency because you cannot really truly give the purity of gratitude uh, that manifests the true highest and best path for you unless you are willing to steep in gratitude and receive gratitude for your part in it. One of the things that happens with manifestation, especially when we are really in alignment with manifesting uh, that highest and best thing, especially when we're not attached to it, when it's just a pure request, energetic, high vibrational request to the universe to take me and lead me into the next steps, which materialize into uh, something beyond my wildest dreams. Let's put it that way. That kind of intention for manifestation. We launch those intentions from a place of of being on a mountain. That's what I see, standing on the mountain and holding our hands up to the heavens and being open to receiving that beyond our wildest expectation um, materialization of the next step on our path or of the result of the next step on our path, whatever that is. And truly, we're in this place of love, of gratitude, of purity that raises us above those lower frequencies, that lifts us up out of that. And then, there's inspired action that usually comes from that. And the inspired action often requires that we come back down into our earthly day-to-day existence and do something, whether it's you know writing something in our journal, or taking a walk and then we bump into somebody that you know may or may not be part of that intention. We have people in our lives when we come back into where we actually have the pencil and paper and the phone and whatever it is that we need to utilize for our inspired action. And just like the potentials that happen during this season at the end of the year, we're exposed to their vibration, their attitudes, their frequencies, their conditioning force with that we take in and or we take on and are conditioned by. And this inevitably makes it so that we kind of move down the mountain and there we are at the bottom with whatever it is that we're doing to follow through on that inspired action. And before you know it, the bottom being the drop in the frequency, before you know it, we're sitting down at the bottom of the mountain waiting for the thing at the top to come down. And that's just not the way it happens. So how do we stay in this place where we have this high vibrational stance of gratitude in a consistent way? So it takes practice. It takes that practice, as like I said earlier, if you're not used to that vibration, receiving the feeling, that being the recipient of appreciation and gratitude. It takes practice to sit within that and really receive it. Even when there are people around you who don't necessarily see you and appreciate you, or are not necessarily expressing gratitude. The gratitude that um, we're plugging into tonight is that gratitude from divine source, and from those energies that are so close to us, that they are part of our non-physical team of support. So that's one way to feel this gratitude and to stay in it. And then, we don't create from we don't create very good things when our cup is half full, or when our cup is empty. So the main practice is to allow yourself to be the recipient of this gratitude from beyond the physical world, to feel it in your heart, and to open to it more deeply every day. And as you do that, your cup begins to fill up. Your energy field begins to fill up with this vibration and frequency. And that's where you can begin to come back up the mountain, as you um, exude that gratitude, first for yourself, and then for those things that you see around you. First of all, those things that you see around you that please you. And then as you move up the mountain and you keep your cup full, that cup of gratitude overflows to the point where you are untouchable by those lower frequencies, those um, uh, emotions and energy that vibrate at less than the level of gratitude. And this, when your cup overfloweth with gratitude and love, this is when you can truly give gratitude to those things in your life that are most challenging, and most growth provoking. But don't try to do that piece until you've filled up and overflowed. So let's fill up tonight. And breath really helps to elevate you into that place of gratitude, into those higher vibrations. So breathe deeply as you maintain that awareness that you're not alone here, that you do have this amazing support. You were born with a guide. Some people call them guardian angels. And then at certain times in your life, you hired guides along the way to assist you with certain things, certain turning points in your life. And those guides are here for you now. And like I said, if you're uncomfortable with the terminology of guide, you can see that as, you came in with an aspect of your higher self, a protective aspect of your higher self, and you have along the way at certain turning points called in different facets of your higher self, of your higher wisdom, that knows enough about what it's like to be here on earth, and has the bigger picture of uh, who you are at that soul level and what is possible for you. So you're all growing and moving through this life together. And if you feel yourself filling up with this sense of overflowing gratitude, with this sense of gratitude in your heart, feel free to express that out the front of your heart into the group, and it fills up your entire field, so it comes back to your team of higher awareness energies. Let's call them that. Your team of higher awareness energies. And if you're having trouble really maintaining this frequency of gratitude, you can focus upon something that really calls that energy or calls that feeling out of your heart. So usually it's not a person. It could be a pet, or it could be an experience. If it's a person, that's great, but don't try to force your husband. Don't try to give your husband that spot if you guys are disagreeing on something right now, or don't try to give your family member, your friend, that spot if you really are not in resonance with that. Pick something more neutral and benign, like your cat. And take a deep breath. Allow your heart to really open up, and imagine that frequency that comes through your heart, that light that comes through your heart, is coming out and embracing that thing or that experience. It could be the experience of having been on a vacation that elevated your frequency. Just embrace that with your light, with that light that's coming through your heart, and light that object of your gratitude up until it is so bright that it almost pulsates with the magnetism of your light. And then send that, it's kind of like a ball. Send that out. Just allow that gratitude ball to go out, because you want to share it. You want it to go to others that would appreciate it, and resonate with it and build upon it, because as they catch that ball of gratitude, they put their own gratitude in it. And maybe you've caught a ball in your hand, because we're all in a circle. So imagine that you've caught a ball of gratitude that someone has sent out. And put your own gratitude in it. Maybe, if you're still working with keeping that frequency of gratitude steady, that energy and feeling of gratitude steady, call up that object of your gratitude again, put it in that ball, and light it up with your heart. And then send that ball out for someone else to catch. And then receive another ball of gratitude from another person in our circle. Take another deep breath and fill that ball up from the light of your heart with this frequency and feeling of love and gratitude, and light it up so that it's so bright and big that you can hardly throw it across the room, but it goes with the lightness of a bird. And as it goes up, it joins with all of these big, beautiful balls of lit up gratitude and love, and they all come together and fuse into this huge sphere of high vibrational beyond 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 gratitude light, beyond love light, transcendent light and energy. And as it fuses, as all of these gratitude balls fuse together, and it grows and it grows and it grows, it expands beyond the limitations of our human circle, beyond the limitations of our non-physical team that is encircling us, and it infuses us with, and engulfs us and bathes us and hugs us and cuddles us and embraces us and snuggles into us. And we receive even more light, lightness, gratitude, love, and transcendence to stay, that strengthens us so that we can stay at the top of the mountain where we first birthed our intentions. So just breathe all of that in. And know that our group work is really important planetary work at this time, and that we can come back into the sanctuary of this group by just calling it up in your quiet time, in your meditation, or even going through this recording if you'd like. At any time when you need to practice holding this stance and embodying this high frequency of gratitude. So when you're ready, come back into the room, into your physical room. Hi, Robin. Good to see you. I don't know when you came in. We were throwing balls of gratitude in the air, and here we are. So I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel kind of giggly myself, like really, really kind of high in this place. This would be a good thing. And I just want to just take a moment before we move on to just kind of thank that the energies of support that were here with us, the energies from the highest aspects of us, uh, and express my gratitude, our group gratitude for that presence within our circle, around our circle. Um, yeah, this is a great thing to do before you enter into those times when, what did I say? When you may be into this season of gratitude where you may be eating denser foods, not moving as much, experiencing outside conditioning or past conditioning, and are vulnerable to and training to lower vibrating people. Uh, this can raise you up and beyond any of that, so that you're in some ways untouchable for a while, and so that you can also hold that space for others to step into. This really is important work that we do, that you do every time you sit and do some of this energy work for yourself. Every time you lighten your load and you get into this place of gratitude and love, it is something that is so dearly needed upon the planet right now. Lightness and the presence of more light beings standing in their light and holding the space of light is truly um, what is going to lift us all who choose, out of the doldrums of the denser frequencies. Whew, so remember to drink some water tonight. You know, remember to hydrate, remember to be good to yourself. I remember to maybe take a walk out in nature if you can before all of the festivities of the next few weeks begins to set in and take over. And most of all, remember to practice gratitude. I am so grateful for all of you for being here, for being part of my community, as I said in the beginning, for being a presence of light up on the planet, and for being willing to play in this space in the way that you did. So that is it for tonight. And I don't know. I don't know if I'll get another video out this week. So if you're in the U.S., have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I will be in touch with another video soon. It's up. It's just not here yet. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Hey guys. Thank you so much for being here. And we will do more again soon. I'm doing these according to when I'm inspired. So I appreciate your being here. And I appreciate those of you who didn't make it on tonight who are here at some other point in the future. So thank you, and have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful kickoff to the season of gratitude, and we will come together again soon. Bye.